Hello. Hello, 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 hello. How is everybody doing? How's life? How's yours? How has your week been? How's everybody doing? Hello. Hello. Right. Hello. Hello, Jim. Good to have you. Pause that. There we go. Hello, Simon. How you doing, man? How's things? We're live, indeed. And for us, Brits case, we're off to get snowed in, apparently. There's an amber snow warning for my area. Which might be interesting. We started off with the day at reckoning 30 centimeters of snow by the end of the day. Now it's 4 or 5, which is much more manageable. And yeah, yeah. Snowed for like 10 minutes. Now it's rain. Nice. My understanding is that at least for where I am, it's like 2, 3, 4 a.m. Yeah, 3 a.m. start snowing, stop at 7. Wait, it's set to the wrong area. Hold on. Hold on. Start snowing at 7 a.m. tomorrow. And snow all day. Oh my god. Severe snow and ice warning. Oh, it's upgraded to a red. Awesome. Cool. Recommended actions. Don't leave the house. Cool. I do have my winter wheels on, so if it does snow, I am finding my local skid pan car park. And hey, it's my birthday on Saturday. If it snows tomorrow, I'm taking a snow day and I'm going drifting. I've already done a drifting day in my car. I know how to handle it. I know how to engage a drift. Perfect. And this is what I got the winter wheels for. I have actual winter tires. Now, if I could only remember what the winter tires are, because I don't. They're Bridgestones. I know that much. Damn dust. I am so glad I can mute the mic instantly. Oh. Bridgestone is a Japanese company? I did not know that. Nice. I don't think they're Blizzax though. I don't know. But yeah, so I should hopefully have some car control, as well as the potential for 350 horsepower to the wheels spinning them, all 4 of the 4-wheel drifts. Hello, Chris. How you doing, man? How's things? I should say, Simon, have you had a fun day out in the what is it you have? A 308 and a cash guy? I might be 308, yes. Cash guy, I might be AI hallucinating on. On a beautiful, wet, dark, cold walk. One of those words isn't like the other. Yeah, one of those words, quite different, in fact. Move the camera a bit. That's better. Yeah. Sounds like you're having fun though. I have to ask, have you seen the video? My video. I've just had 4 Como Extra sport tires put on my 308. Oh no. Hello Ish. Hello Ish. I have seen the Razor video. What do you think? Hello, be right. How do man? How's things? Good to have you. Yeah. If you've seen my last video, thoughts? The Project Ava is creepy AF. I don't disagree. I think I hate the modern world. Do you know? So do I. Oh, hold on. Apologies. It's not a good look for Razor. I agree. I spent a lot of time thinking about the products and like the and their consequences, because what they have at least implied. So to clarify, neither of these things are products that will be on shelves immediately. Project Ava, you can put down a like $20 deposit, like pre-order, and they said they plan to ship in the second half of 2026, so 6 months from now at least, possibly 9 months, which there's a joke in there, I won't make it. But and the same with the headphones, they're not a product that you can go and buy. Razer's nomenclature is, if it's project something, it is not a real product, it is a concept. Whereas, you know, if it's called the Razor something, not the Razor project something, you know, that's it. Essentialist 2, hopefully will turn up later, did point out, in fact, that the thing that I was talking about with the headphones and doing facial recognition, those like Meta Ray-Ban glasses things, that, to be clear, part of the script that I ended up scrapping in favor of what you saw was talking about how, like, generally stupid the idea of those smart AI glasses, in this case headphones, things are in general. Like, the glasses I can somewhat understand in the form of, it's essentially an action camera that you can wear without looking weird. Like, you can be doing, you know, like action camera things. You can be doing, like, you know, filming, like recording little snippets of your life, so you know you can remember them without having to have your phone out and be doing this, or ideally this. You know, you can sort of capture those memories, and that side of things I don't like, but I can understand, right? But the whole AI integration crap, like, what are you using that for? And like, it's a really like awkward, socially awkward thing. I mean, as I mentioned in the video, that the headphones, like the clip that they showed of, oh, that's Michelle, the new marketing director. Hold on, wait. Let me reenact this for you. So, let's say that you are, you know, so inclined that you have smart AI glasses, whatever, right? And you press the button and say, "Who's that?" to their face, and then it takes the picture, does the facial recognition, and then can tell you either audio or if they have screens on screen, right? Weird, but wearing glasses, even ones with little cameras here, is socially acceptable. Little prop. Hi. Who's that? Nice talking to you. Huh? Like, bro. So yeah, social faux pas at the best of times. Um, yeah. Headphones seem to hold better potential to store hardware, battery, etc. But you got to wear the headphones and have them at the right angle all the time. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, in the press briefing that I mentioned in the video, Razer, like, at no point did the uh the person giving the presentation, the marketing person giving the presentation, say these are the best headphones. These are the best audio quality. They said, like, basically, you know those smart glasses? Well, aren't they terrible because they don't have much space? There's kind of a weight limit, like weight constraint. You can only put so much weight in there, and there's just not much space to put batteries and cameras and processing hardware. But we were like, hold on a minute. Headphones have a load of space to shove your AI crap into. Profit. That was the pitch, which really predicates your like interest in having AI wearable crap. Like, already, you must have desperately wanted those Meta Ray-Ban glasses, but just thought, gosh, it doesn't do enough spying. I need more space in my tech to put more spyware in, and a better battery so it can spy for longer. Yeah. So yeah, miss when Razer's projects were just toasters. I agree. Scrap the whole project. I agree. You won't make the joke because you're avoiding mentions of a gestation. Yes, pretty much. I haven't. It got lost in my myriad of CES AI slot videos. Watch it after the stream. Please do, Jim. You will be horrified. The company linked face lookup profile thing looks bad unless it was not data from a company. If it was supposed to be from the internet, even worse. Well, so that's the thing that I snuck in an edit. With those headphones specifically, there's only two possible like options with them. Either you have to provide it with all of the data. You have to best case hook your like Facebook profile to, like, get the picture data and like personal information, or like your LinkedIn profile or whatever, and then it has to like go and scrape that, or worse, you have to manually add that. In which case that's useless because you clearly have to already know the person and know everything about them to enter that data, or it's getting that data from the internet. And that's fucking horrifying. I'm not quite ready to tell you exactly why this hits so close to home, but for people in vulnerable groups, the everyday person having access to this sort of surveillance technology is horrifying. Unless the data comes from a corporate directory. Well, again, yes, but you have to have access to the corporate directory. And you have to give Razer access to your corporate directory. That's the other thing about AI stuff, is that there's no data security anywhere. And like, if you've got, I was reading a post on Reddit from the sysadmin subreddit today about how people are installing AI note takers, like meeting note takers, like on their phones or on their machines or through like Zoom or Teams or whatever. And like, especially the third party ones, you realize that you are sending a recording of what is likely private either conversations or like corporate data, projects, information to a third party who in many cases is just like a couple of guys in a web app who are then shipping the data to someone else to actually do the work, to then ship it back. No corporate policy, no data security, no nothing. To then have it processed as text and then sent back to you. Except at no point in that horrible chain has anyone thought about data security. Like, we are going to see a wave of corporate espionage. And it's not even going to be espionage. It's just going to be people being fucking idiots and just like broadcasting all their information. And it's not going to take a genius to work out how to hit, you know, these completely insecure, probably vibe coded, like crappy websites and databases. And people who haven't thought for more than a second about any of this except how to make money. Yeah. Chris, I did, and I'm very happy to see that. Bigger, like, I mean, one of the funny things is that Microsoft is renaming Microsoft Office to Microsoft Copilot, purely so that they can claim to their board that they have a really big install base. So it's Word with Copilot, Excel with Copilot, PowerPoint with Copilot. Like, technically speaking, Copilot will be installed in 40 million computers or whatever it is, but or 40 million users. But like, cheating doesn't count, you know? Like, whatever. My corporation stated internally that they're happy for staff to upload proprietary corporate information to ChatGPT, like for formatting reports. They don't realize they're opening themselves up to espionage and theft and potential legal action. Yeah. Yeah. 400 million, thank you. I knew it was a 4 and a 0, just forgot an extra 0. Yeah. I have the Ray-Ban glasses. They're awesome for videoing my kids and grandkids. I mean, as long as the video stays on your devices and doesn't get automatically uploaded to Facebook, that's fine. I do feel like the microslot meme is appropriate, especially if they're using Copilot to write some of the code and still not using it to Q&A test. Oh yeah, the microslot meme is just chef's kiss. It's so perfect. Yeah, just genius. Did I miss anything? Skateboard compilation glasses, indeed. Yeah, the point about like data security in corporate environments, like, it is utterly insane that not even just like the vibe coders who are like, you know, creating entire businesses out of AI slop, only to then realize, that the AI is not thinking about, well, first of all, anything. Second of all, data security and their business security. Uh, if you ask it to create a login page, even a backend to go, if you don't specifically ask it for JWT tokens or OAuth authentication or anything like that, your site will not be secure. It will be penetrated very abruptly. That's actually the right word for it as well. Sad how much non-consumer the Consumer Electronics Show had this year. Oh, for sure. I mean, I think the irony is that the vast majority of stuff that we're seeing is like, I mean, it's virtue signaling, right? Like it's hey, we're making this thing. We've not made the thing yet. Hey, we're announcing this thing. We've not. Hey, we're doing this thing. We've just bought it from Facebook. Like, so, right. One of the things that Razer briefed us on at the start of December, I might add, they were this excited about it back then, is that it is a they called it Razer Code. Which one was it? Razer Developer Co AI? Is that the right way around? It was basically a like game studio in a generative AI box. So you can ask it for not just like code, but also 3D models and textures and all this sort of stuff. So in theory, you can slop together a game that I'm sure you got, you know, another AI to give you an idea for. Can you smell my distaste? And, you know, ship something that's going to break and, you know, be horrible. That didn't show up, right? But what did show up was Razer AI Kit. Now, AI Kit is an open source tool, I guess. And I looked at the GitHub repo. I looked through the source code. All Razer AI Kit does is the same as like what was it? Open Web UI. It is just a front end. It actually, the main thing it does is downloads Facebook's OPT 125 million parameter model. Or it can download Quen 0.3 billion parameter model. Those are the two default actions that it does right now. And the main thing, like when you do a prompt or whatever, it just asks the local Facebook OPT 125 million parameter model. That's about it. It's just a front end. They've launched an AI kit with one of the smallest models in existence. Why? Oh, because venture capital is going to look at that and go, oh, if we go to Razer.ai, they have products and they have, you know, an open source AI kit, like SDK for stuff. And oh, they've got this and that. So they get money. I'm getting bored of greed. How does he say it, Chris? In order to properly code with AI in a professional environment, you need to actually know what you're doing already. Yeah. To be clear, like having, you know, LLMs, whatever, generate you the basics of a website to get something up and running really quickly, or to implement specific features where you can describe it really easily and quickly, much more than you could actually bother to write the code for it. That's fine. I I understand. I don't know necessarily if that is the ideal use of our, natural resources, but let's pretend. But to vibe code the entire thing is to create endless problems for yourself. One, because it writes code that you don't understand. Great. It's written 400,000 lines of code for you this month. Awesome. Now maintain that. You can't just keep going, oh, there's a bug, and then have it rewrite another 100,000 lines of code in hopes that that fixes it. Like, in professional environments, we have all of these processes and staging and all that sort of stuff for a reason. I'm not clued up with the gubbins of AI. What's contained within a downloaded AI LLM? Is it just raw data or specific trained data for the AI program to process and respond with? Right, crash course. So there are two states that AI can be in: training or inference. Training is when you take your model. So to step it back slightly further, AI models are just layers of, we call them neural networks. It's basically a series of weights that start off basically as blank, and you can put in as many layers of weights as you like, and you can train them so that those weights, when given a certain input, can produce a reliable output. For something like image recognition or optical character recognition, that might be, you show an image of a handwritten letter T, and if it outputs the letter T, you give it a reward, and that kind of helps lock in the positions of all of those weights. But then you show it a letter J, and it says T, and you go bad, and then it changes some weights randomly. You do that a billion times, and it locks in all of those weights. Now, once you've locked in all of those weights, you now can just take all of those weights as a single file and give that to your, that's what you download. You download all of those weights, you download the model. And then your local computer, you can say, show it a picture of a book or your handwriting. And it will then run that through the same model. But because all of those weights are now locked in place, there's no extra checks. It just spits out what it spits out. That process is called inference, because you're inferring through the model or through the neural network. And there's a lot of complications of how to train the models and how to better optimize like running them or doing inference. But what you download is a whole bunch of parameters that, when asked in the right way, can take, for an LLM, a large language model, can take some text in and generate some text out. And that's what you're downloading. And that process of running inference is generally a lot more efficient than the process for training, because it's reinforcement learning generally. And so, it's cycles. Although when you then scale it up to billions of requests a day, you are talking about a lot of energy usage just to do the inference. Be right, they did. In fact, they changed their they killed all of their QA. They fired all of their QA team, only to basically employ their users to be their QA team. Yeah. I can't say I was impressed by CES this year. I don't think that I saw anything pop up that was all that interesting. Oh, we didn't talk about Project Ava, the other horrible thing. That one is even more sort of disgusting. Um, their their product page is just horrendous. I mean, the fact that it's powered by Grok, Elon Musk's, well, neo-Nazi Twitter bot, is horrifying. And then at least they say, oh, it's currently powered by Grok, but it will eventually be, you can use whatever model you want. Horrifying. But even forgetting that, having a camera and microphones permanently pointed either at you or at your screen is a horrifying experience, or horrifying idea. And then the fact that this is all cloud hosted, like your little, cylinder is literally just like a Wi-Fi display, basically. Like all it's doing is doing the displaying. The actual video of your, waifu will be rendered on, I assume, Razer's server or whoever Razer pays to run the server. Razer will have access to your chat logs. Razer will have access to the camera feeds. Razer will have access to the microphone feeds. They're clearly designing this to be a predatory tool to get that information. They described it as a product or a device to give physical companionship. The hologram hardware is really cool. The AI always connected to it is really bad. If there wasn't a camera... Well, actually, if it was all locally hosted and you could have, just like... regular avatar, non-anime waifu, that might be cool if it's entirely locally hosted. But then the other thing about LLMs is that they like they take time to respond. So like, hey, what should I do in this game? Go for the throat. My internet and stuff today is we had a power outage. Hello, Simon. Sorry to hear about that. Hope it resolves itself soon. No camera, just a hologram feature. You can see my kids uploading their favorite characters to them. Fair enough, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh dear. I don't even have indoor security cameras in my house, local or not, I won't have them. I mean, fair enough. I have one in here, although my desk is a privacy zone, so it's blacked out. Actually, that's a good point. My cloud key has been shitting the bed. Storage? Okay. Nice. Huh. I can definitely update my what you call it, frame rate or whatever, because the hard drive that was on my cloud key, well, the cloud key was shitting the bed. This is the replacement hard drive that I put in there I don't know, a year or two ago. Apparently it's a Samsung drive. And you have 1 terabyte, 2.5-inch hard drive. Cloud key was shitting the bed, saying that the hard drive had been removed, so I swapped it in for a 1 terabyte SSD, the Fanjang one actually, and it says that I have approximate capacity for 3 months and 6 days worth of recording. So I think I'm good for a while. Can probably upgrade. Yeah. I think they currently run at 15 FPS, so get some 30 FPS magic going. Really cinematic frame rates. To be fair, at least a few case designs are on display at CES, and it looks like the PC case market is getting some things right, finally. Nice. It's a shame that we can't afford any of the parts to put in the cases. Looking for a Fractal Torrent compact case, the solid black. Can't find it anywhere. Any recommendations for a case with similar airflow? And Chris says, oh, I thought Chris was giving a suggestion for a case. PC case market good. Affordability of building a new PC bad. Does anyone have any suggestions for cases? Because I don't. I don't care about cases. I would say the Fantex M2 Evolve, and be done with it. And that's at least a decade-old case, so don't listen to me. Someone else, please. Talking of internet, I had an outage for 5 days a few weeks ago, so I installed a 5G router and load balancer, so now I have failover. 5 days was way too long. I mean, I couldn't live without internet for 5 days. Yeah, that's a great idea. What you call it? What 5G router and what load balancer did you get? Corsair 760T. Nice. I mean, I do still really like the M2 Evolve X. That's the one that I use upstairs for testing. But yeah, Gamers Nexus does have an excellent selection of cases that they review. Then I went rack mount, never went back. Yeah, I mean, at some point I will be swapping my 2 servers. Well, they're definitely going in a server chassis. Whether or not I can find a server chassis with enough drive sleds to justify downsizing 2 systems into one and just doing virtualization, like running Proxmox as the base, running Unraid for my work system, and running TrueNAS for my like personal NAS. Only because running 2 different pools on two different sets of drives from within Unraid is a bit difficult. Was it Ish or Chris that approved that? I'm gonna go with Ish by the comment. It's not too bad necessarily. It's just how'd I put this? Off topic. Got the router from 3 and the balancer is a TP-Link Gigabit FR205. Made the mistake of buying a cloud-based one, but hey ho. Fair. And nice. The day after I had it set up, dog found an Ethernet cable and decided to use it as a chew toy. Yeah. Wow, I mean, now who's going off topic? I have difficulty with pets. Having their own agency, but not enough agency. I don't really like that dynamic. Ish, can you sort it out? 1.8k seconds. That's weird. You walked into spam bots, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. We were talking about AI and how much we hate it, and PC cases, and Simon was talking about his internet outage that lasted for 5 whole fucking days, and using a 5G router and a load balancer, which I didn't know you could get. Well, what does a TP-Link? Wait, isn't TP-Link banned now? Huh. Interesting. Free centralized management via cloud. Ugh. Yeah, maybe not. Dad had a week-long power outage last year caused by a storm. That's why you need to get solar, and you can be self-reliant. For failover, I like my Unify UDR7. Not the cheapest, but I think it works nicely. I run mine locally only. Nice. I mean, I was talking earlier about my Unify Cloud Key Gen 2 Plus has been on the fritz. In fact, it's almost always on the fritz. The Unify Cloud Key Gen 2 Plus, not the best thing, but it is a gateway and a DVR, so I guess that's that. But yeah, I have the Unify switch, a Unify AP, and a Unify Switch 8, the PoE switch that powers the cameras and the AP access point. I also have a Netgear Nighthawk. I think it's called an SX10. It's the 10 gig one, or the one that has 2 10 gig ports and then 8 1 gig ports, I think. So yeah, that works for me. I use 10 gig between my PC and my work NAS because I edit straight off of the work NAS. which means all the data sort of protected. My PC can go down and I can still have all my footage and all that jazz. I had it all installed, so I just left it. When I replace it, I'll go local. You can get a TP-Link local version, but I didn't know that beforehand. Fair enough, yeah. Like, thank yous, I know on an AOC AG326 UD monitor based on your recommendation. It's transformed by gaming experience. Nice, I'm glad. Let me just refresh my memory on what the 326 UD even looks like. Yes. I like that my review is the third one when I search. That's nice. Like third entry. That's good. Yeah, 4K 165 Hz key OLED. Nice. Oh my god, I reviewed that a year ago. Damn. Anyway, I'm glad that you like it. I'm glad that it's good for you. As someone who has been gaming on a QD OLED, not too dissimilar. I'm in the Evney 8600, so 1440p, ultra wide, 165, 170 hertz, whatever it is. Yeah, it's really good. And it's a stupidly like fast and smooth and very incredibly vibrant despite having relatively low brightness. Yeah, glad you like it. I tried to get my dad to install solar, but because it was in a grade 2 thatched house, it'd have to go on his fields, which are full of horses. Yeah, not ideal, is it? Wind? Big pole. That's all you need. Big pole. Wind turbine. It even works at night. I do actually kind of want to probably not make, but maybe make a small wind turbine to attach to my solar array. At some point in hopefully the next year, maybe 2, I don't know. I'll be building some decking and a roof sort of structure on the back of the house. I'll stick 2 more 505 watt solar panels on there, so that's another kilowatt of peak production, which basically doubles my solar production. And so, on a sunny day, I should be able to make about 12 kilowatt hours. And then, even on a winter day like today, let's have a look. I only generated 186 watt hours, which is barely enough to keep batteries warm. I mean, so I have specifically turned the inverter on. The inverter uses about half an amp at 28 volts, 26 volts, constantly, and that half an amp, I'm basically just using it as a heater for the battery. So even though it is -1 degree in my garden, it is 10 degrees in the battery, and it's an insulated box with the inverter inside it, so it basically acts as a heater. And the battery voltage is fine, so yeah. I'd like a solar system with a diesel generator. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I think one of the main reasons that I ended up building my DIY solar power system is energy independence, which I appreciate, especially at this time of the year. It's very not independent. It's barely keeping itself alive, but yeah, even just having a little bit of energy in reserve is pretty cool. And like, you can do lots of fun stuff with it. Like, one of the things that I want to do when I take the shed that it's in down and build a new shed is run a new 5-core armored wire instead of a 3-core armored wire. so that I can have a grid powered charger connected to the battery on a smart plug, so I can have what you call it, I can charge, at night or whatever when energy's cheap, and use it during the day when it's more expensive. And if I get a variable tariff at that point, I could be saving money, and it would mean, if I do have a blackout at any point, I got enough juice for the day. Yeah. Careful the neighbors don't get annoyed with the wind technology. People near fields get mad about those things. Yes, there is a difference between little, possibly vertical one, and big, big, big one. But yeah, I know. We'll see. Dad's next door neighbor bought a 14-liter inline six diesel Volvo Penta generator that used to be the backup for a London M&S branch that would keep the lights on in an outage. I don't think we've had a power cut here in about 15 years. That's crazy. We don't have them often, but we do have dropouts occasionally. And of course, a couple years ago, government was talking about we fucked our natural gas reserves by selling them off to pump up shareholder profits, and now we might have to have blackouts. So Intel's Xe3 graphics cards, the Arc B390, is looking impressive based on what's been displayed at CES. Should AMD be worried regarding their Strix Halo lineup? Great question. I don't entirely know. I've not actually kept up on that front super well. But yeah. Whether or not AMD has to be worried necessarily isn't perhaps the question I would ask, as much as it's, what's the better. Is Intel's graphics core paired with one of their CPUs going to provide enough competition for AMD to push AMD to make something better in 2 to 4 years? Because right now you can't afford the RAM to put next to the chips. Nobody's buying anything right now. So, we're able to think a lot more speculatively about, is this going to help us in 3 years' time, more than, is this a problem right now? But if it is good, awesome. Fantastic. Shame the CPU won't keep up, but nice to see nonetheless. Competition always helps. That it does. I think one of the interesting things about like Nvidia's AI madness is that it seems like they've actually made made it possible for AMD GPUs to work with CUDA for the first time properly, not just crappy workarounds, but actual straight works with CUDA, which might be a really big deal for AMD cards and productivity. Really big deal. Here in the Evil Empire, we have a lot of storms, and I've actually been out of power for a week with a gas generator that just drinks gas. Understandable. If I was gonna get a generator, a diesel one would definitely be it. The efficiency gains, let's say, are quite clear. I mean, I guess if I wanted a portable generator, you tend to not get as many diesel ones of those, but yeah. Although hopefully soon we'll have a workshop, and we might need a diesel heater to keep the workshop warm in these ever so blisteringly hot months. Intel would still be stagnating at the top with no competition from AMD instead of on the bottom after 2 months competition. They must still be worth more though, despite needing cash injections. At least on market cap, I think AMD is winning. Market cap is 333 billion. Yeah, Intel is only 197 billion, so AMD is now worth 50% more, a bit more than 50% more than Intel. What's Nvidia at? Is it 4 trillion yet? Market cap. Yeah, it's 4.5 trillion, fuck's sake. Tesla could have just finished his infinite energy project. I think that's called fusion, nuclear fusion, and yeah. You wouldn't be refilling a hot petrol Jenny either. I've seen event stalls doing that with thousands of people around. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh no. For those who don't know, diesel is non-combustible in the sense that you cannot set diesel alight without atomization and pressure. Like, if you spill petrol on the floor, run, because that petrol turns to vapor very quickly, and the vapors are the flammable thing, and if there's petrol vapor, it basically will catch on fire. Diesel does not vaporize on its own, and therefore is remarkably safe as a, fluid. If you atomize it or compress it, problem. But yeah, you can pour diesel on a petrol fire to put the petrol fire out, if I remember rightly. It's not recommended. Water's probably a better choice, but yeah. Like, I mean, I'm very much remembering the old Mythbusters episode of you can light what you call it, you can light petrol and fire stupidly easily, but if you you can literally take a blowtorch to diesel and it won't catch on fire. But yeah, don't pour diesel or petrol on the floor. Or coolant. Coolant is propylene glycol. It smells really sweet, so animals start to drink it. But one, tastes disgusting, and two, bad. Runaway diesel is related to what you speak of. Runaway diesel, at least from what I understand, is so diesel engines don't have throttle bodies. Diesel engines modulate the power with fuel delivery. However, because diesel engines require the fuel to be atomized to an insane degree, they use direct injection and they use incredibly high pressure fuel pumps. And those fuel pumps are often driven from the engine itself, mechanically. And so basically, diesel runaway is the fuel pump sticks open, keeps pouring more fuel in, which spins the pump faster, which pumps more fuel in. And if you don't stop it by blocking the airway or cutting fuel supply, it will run and run and run and run until it explodes. So diesel runaway means you run away. Or, as someone says, if you're brave, block the air intake or cut fuel supply. Either way, it's a very bad time. I poured diesel in my turbocharger. Why? Like, as coolant, as lubricant, as fuel? Oh, and woodworking, some finishing chemicals can spontaneously combust. Yes. Yes, they can. Also, if you're cleaning, don't mix products. Intel's like Microsoft, Microslop, they can't get out of their own way, and that's coming from someone who has an Intel processor and has owned 3 ARC cards. Nice. Extra power for the 4 seconds before complete failure. Nice. Sand on fuel, yes. Is it electrical fires foam? I can't remember the types. I have whichever one it is, fire extinguisher in my kitchen, on my kitchen wall, readily accessible by the back door, so we can, if there is ever a kitchen fire, we can put it out straight away. I would highly recommend that, by the way, having a fire extinguisher somewhere in your house. It's like a 10 quid. Real cheap insurance. Actually, there's another fire extinguisher down there that I used. I painted for the Rainbow Six Siege mod PC that I built probably a decade ago now. Water for paper, CO2 for electronics, powder for everything. That's the order. And don't pour water on a grease fire. Right. With those safety advices out of the way, I think I'm going to leave it there. I hope y'all have a wonderful week. I hope y'all stay safe. Hope y'all have fun. No video tomorrow or Monday. I'm gonna let the Razer one, let's say, stew for a while. Back next Friday, well, next Thursday, and yeah, I'll be 29. So yeah, catch you guys next week.